The first Monday of the month, I like to do creations with Artesprix blank of the month or something that has to do with Artesprix.
Friday! What did you do?
We have sublimation ribbon. So this is some satin ribbon. It's satin, yeah, it's like satin-like ribbon. But today I'm gonna be using some Cricut some Cricut Infusible ink. I had to think about that, right? Let me show you what the ribbon's gonna look like. But without, I'm not gonna do the tails. It's like a sailor bowl, but I'm not gonna do the tails on this one. It's just gonna be like this. And then I'll show you how to gather it up and then how to put the clip on the back. And that way you have a little hair bow. So if you like what you see me do here, go ahead and jump on the Artesprix website. I do have a link in my bio for Artesprix, which does, I have to disclose this, earns me a commission. It is an affiliate link. So if you make any purchases after clicking my link, I do earn a small commission, although it costs you nothing in addition. We're using the Infusible ink. This is gonna be even quicker than quick, faster than fast. Quicker than but to me, there is so much fun in actually decorating. So and designing and doing the stamping, like I didn't know I liked stamping and shading. And so I'm learning all those things and ombre and blending. And so with the help of my sister, Jo Marie, and some technique help, I'm getting into that. So you guys expect more from me. Here we go. Let's open up my Infusible ink. If you have any of these laying around, this might be a perfect project for you. Also, when you open up your Infusible ink, your sheets, they come in with this black bag, okay? So don't throw away the bag. You want to go ahead and keep that because you want to put your ink back in there to seal it up, your ink sheets. Just cut it open. Make sure you're cutting just the top and not through the actual Infusible ink sheet. And your sheets are going to look way muted. So on here, it looks red, right? And here you're going, it's pink. That's because with sublimation and the sublimation process, whether it's your markers, this Infusible ink sheet, your sublimation, when you print on your sublimation printer, it's going to look lighter because the heat is what activates it and brings it out and makes it look vibrant. It's also going to come with some paper. And this is your butcher paper that you use with it. I'm actually not going to use that butcher paper. I'm going to use my Artesprix protective paper instead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this. I'm going to cut, and I'm going to bring you guys down in just a second. I don't need the whole sheet. So my ribbon, and I'm going to show you. You know what? Let me bring you guys down now. You guys can see. So here's my ribbon. And my ribbon is a little over 2 inches wide. So my ribbon is about 2 1/4 wide. So make sure you're gonna account for that. For each bow, we're gonna need 2 cuts of ribbon. We're gonna need an 8-inch cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I love my glass board. I use it, it's like so easy to do stuff. So you need an 8-inch piece of ribbon. I'm gonna cut that now here. It's okay if you cut a little bit bigger. This is for each bowl, okay? And this is for the size that we're making, which is this size here. Again, I did it again with this one. Here we go. And then you're gonna need a 6.5. So 8-inch length and a 6.5 length is what you'll want to cut. And if you were doing the bowls, you would do, when I made the tails, like for the sailor bow, I think I used a 12-inch piece, and that's doable as well. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut some of my Infusible ink sheet here. So I like to cut it so that I can have it a little bit of an overlap, which is why I like to use my protective paper. And I'm just gonna cut this here on the line. That's the good thing about the Cricut Infusible ink and their vinyls. You do have your guidelines, okay? I'm done with this. So I'm gonna, if you ever have trouble winding stuff up, like rolling it back up, grab from the middle and just grab it and then start rolling it from the middle, and that'll make it nice and tight for you. See that? Super simple, guys. Watch this. So I'm gonna take my ribbon, and first of all, I'm going to just clean it off really quickly. Just be careful. Let me see what side. And then I'm gonna hold this down since it curves up. I'm gonna take it, the side that I want, down, just like this. And I did, there it is. So I didn't grab my tape. You're gonna use heat tape to just tape it down onto your infusible ink sheet. And tape it down. You might want to tape it a few places just to make sure it stays down. Just be aware that you, okay, so I have tape right here. I don't want to put this on top because it won't transfer. Make sure there's nothing else blocking. It's okay to have tape on top of your ribbon, but you do not want tape underneath your ribbon. Does that make sense? If you do, it's not going to transfer in that point. So for my ribbon, and when I was, and I should have tested and I didn't. So we're going to kind of just estimate. When I did this with my Iron-On-Ink Artesprix products, I did 400 degrees for 90 seconds. And for infusible ink, goodness guys, I can't remember. I'm gonna do the same thing, 400 degrees for 90 seconds. This is like the greatest paper ever. This is the Artesprix protective paper. I use it all the time. And the cool thing about this is not just for Artesprix products, but you can use it with all of your sublimation projects. If you don't get any ink on it, you can reuse it. That is super cool, right? So this is what I have going on. All I need is a sheet of my protective paper that will cover that. I'm gonna place, and I don't really need one on the bottom, guys, but it is good practice. Okay, so you do this, and actually, I do need one on the bottom. What I meant is that I don't need one on the top. When you do your sublimation sandwich, it's gonna be your protective paper, and then your blank. So there's my blank. And then your transfer paper on top. Well, I mean, your pattern, whatever you're gonna be using, that goes on the top, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kind of roll this, try to make sure it lays flat. So just for safe measure, I'm gonna put another sheet of protective paper on top. So this is my sublimation sandwich. My protective paper, and then my blank, and then my transfer paper, and then another sheet of protective paper. I really don't need it with this because of the liner, but better safe than sorry, always, 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 in case something shifts or anything. So what I can do is use some heat tape. And I'm gonna go ahead and heat tape it down just to, you know, for my own personal anxiety issues. Just to make sure, and there. Okay, so that I'm a little bit more comfortable with. And then now we're ready to go. Okay. That took no time at all. Just gonna, okay, yeah, we're good. Then I'm gonna press the button here. There we go. It's gonna work for the 90 seconds, okay? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is get everything else ready. While those 90 seconds are passing, we're gonna get a couple more things ready. I'm gonna be using some double-sided tape, and you'll see what I use that for when I bring you guys back down. You're gonna need some thread. So I have a needle and thread. You're gonna be needing any color because you're gonna cover it up. I have some embellishments, some fall embellishments here. These are from Totally Dazzled. This is some faux leather. This is thin faux leather. I'm just gonna I'm gonna cut a small strip of it. There it is. My auto pressure, you guys hear it? And it automatically opens so I don't have to rush over there. I'm not worried about it burning or anything. So let me just go, open it out. Oh, I got a nice, I can already tell. But what I like to do is call a peak test. And my my protective paper got left back here, but that's okay. So let me show you. This one is clean. There's no ink transfer on it. And that's because there's a liner on the back of my infusible ink sheet. I can save this and use this for another project. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. But let me show you the other one. I'm gonna turn this off so I don't forget. Ooh, it smells like heat press. Let's bring you guys down. So here's this. So for my peak test, I just kind of look at it. Yep, I can tell it transferred, so then I can take it off. You see how this sheet has, I could go through the motions of cutting out, but since it has transfer on it, I don't want to reuse this sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that away. Look at this. Remember how I said there's gonna be a difference? Can you guys see the difference between here and then here? Let's go ahead and take this off. I'm just gonna remove it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Although now that it's transferred, it looks more spring than fall, but that's okay. So this Infusible ink transfer sheet is done. We can throw that away. And now I just peel away all of my tape. Yeah, I went overboard with the tape, but better safe than sorry. So here we go. Let's peel all this off. You can put some fray check on here if you wanted to, but because the ends are not going to be showing because of the way we're going to do this bow, I'm not worried about that. But you can burn the ends if you want to. You can put some glue on there if you wanted to. Even when I do the sailor bow with the tails, they don't end up showing, you see? So I'm not worried about, everything ends up hidden. So I'm not worried about that. It is a lot brighter. But that's okay. So we're going for technique right now. So it's okay if it looks brighter. We can do something different later. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to fold my ribbons in half lengthwise, okay? Lengthwise. I'm going to fold each one in half. Here's this one. This came out really pretty, by the way. I really like this. And then I'm going to fold this one lengthwise as well. Or this widthwise. Anyway. No, lengthwise would be the other way, huh? Sorry, guys. So here we go. Down the middle, horizontally, like that. Okay, so that I have a fold right in the middle. I'm going to get this about the length of both of them together. I'm going to put this here right in the middle of that line. And you could have cut, I could have cut two separate ones, but you know, Mrs. Craft Lady. And the shortcuts. There we go. And then I'm just going to peel off the backing. And the reason we did that is because this makes it easier to fold my bows. Check it out. And I can actually take these apart now if I want to. Or I could have left them. I think the first time I just left them. You're going to fold each one to the middle. Make sure you leave yourself some space for each side. Middle fold here and middle fold here. You see what I'm saying? How your cut edges are going to be hidden. So here it is to the back. This is the front. Let's set that to the side. Now let's do this side. I need to trim this up though. Here. You know what's cool too with these bows? I mean, I love making bows. You can even make your own bow holder. You can use this same ribbon and to make a little bow holder. That's what I was going to do today. And I said, no, I want to show how to make, because I did a blog write-up for Artesprix on how to do this. But I think video is more helpful with something like this sometimes. Okay, so I have this, right? I'm going to place, this is the longer one. We're going to make sure that both of the open edges are facing down, okay? Then I'm going to place this on top. If you want to make one higher than the other, you can. Let me get rid of that piece of tape. These scissors are awesome. These are from Fiskars. These are my tape scissors. They're for adhesives, and so you don't get that stick like you do on regular blades. So here we go with this. Now we're going to take our needle and thread. You guys know you guys saw me with it. I just had it. There it is. It almost failed. That would have been a disaster, because I would have been like, man, I don't know where it is. So we're just going to gather. We're just going to take a long stitch. I'm going to start from up here, actually. You guys, can you see it? And then I'm just going to do like in the middle. Make sure I'm in the middle. Make sure these are in the middle. And I'm just going to do a little gathering stitch. A long running stitch here. See, I'm just going back and forth. Just to make this. So then all of this ends up on here on my needle. Pull it up. I'm glad I threaded my needle before I brought you guys on live, because I was like, man, I will be there. I knew I was going to have issues if I did. And what happened there? My knot was not big enough. Let me re-knot it. So make sure your thread is knotted. Don't do like Mrs. Carafe Lady. And let's try that again. So here we go. Let me just pull this one through just to make sure. There we go. And we're just going to back and forth. This is the only sewing. And you don't have to do the sewing part if you don't want to. You can actually get this done without sewing by just pinching them together and gluing them. I should have chosen a thicker needle as well, but that's okay. See how I pull it up? Just pull it up, and then when you pull it up, you're going to take that thread and wrap it around the middle several times, because this is what's going to hold that bow, okay? Then I like to go to the back. This print is so good that I couldn't tell. And then we're going to go here, and I'm just going to make a knot, a couple of knots in the back. And then through. And then through the, and I'm going cross-eyed here, through the middle of these two. And then just trim your thread. Put your needle where you can find it so you don't accidentally have it on the floor somewhere. Okay. Isn't that cute already? So then, yes, you can fluff it up. We're not finished yet, though. Your new brown. I'm not loving the brown, y'all. That does not look well. So let's find some more. Another piece of faux leather that we can use, maybe. Let's find something that matches. And we just need a really thin piece. Oh, I found a piece of yellow. We'll do it with the yellow just because it'll match the best. We're not going to see a lot of it. So so I'm just going to cut it maybe 1/4 inch wide, 1/4 to 1/2 inch wide. And the length, watch, you don't even, oh man, I forgot to turn on. I'm going to turn on my glue gun. The length is not that much either. So when I start gluing, I'm going to glue at the back and bring it around and to here. So then I'm going to cut my length about here. A little bit more so I can have room to pull it up. Sorry about not turning on my glue gun, y'all. But I always start gluing at the back, okay? And then around. I'm just going to put a dot of glue. I'm shaking like I haven't eaten today or something. Maybe I haven't eaten today or something. We're going to put it at the back and pull it around tight. And then glue it again. Just a dot of glue is all you need. There are different strengths of glue gun sticks too. Did you guys know that? So if you're concerned about it not staying, you can always work with that. So cute, right? And then let's go ahead and a dot of glue. I do have a discount. Yeah, I have a discount code if you and a link if you like for Totally Dazzled to check out what they have. These are actually from last year's fall set. And now, all we're gonna do is glue gun across here. Working with it. You can also use like E6000 or Gorilla Glue if you want to. Because your glue gun will dry super fast. And then just press it down. I need to go back and fix the apple. The apple is hollow in the back. So I need to make sure I get it around the edges, actually, is what I need to do. There we go. And then hold it down. And there's our hair clip. Super simple, right, guys? Super simple.